Hello po, I'm Rendell Sheen S. Suliva, and I will be creating a schematic and a PCB. So, what is a schematic and a PCB anywhere? We will use the Express SCH and the Express PCB. So, before the Express PCB is where we put all the components and the traces for printing in PCB. But before we do that, we need to create a schematic with that will connect all the components and in a such way that if we link it to the PCB, it will be detected which pins are connected. So it is recommended to do this in Express SCH. Now I will be giving a time lapse of creating a one schematic and a PCB in a PCB one, and I will explain the output after it's finished in time lapse. It is so long to create a schematic because it needs a lot of it needs a lot of work and debugging. I mean, you need to check all the connections if it is connected, or all the and all the size matters in this particular setup. So I will be changing it to time lapse, and I'll see you after the final outputs of the schematic and the PCB. As you can see, this is a circuit of a burglar alert system. So this will tell if there is a burglar in in your house. So it will be triggered in a special way of using a photoresistor. So let's explain what is photoresistor. A photoresistor, uh, it is like a variable resistor, but it will differ the resistance depending on the light that it has been captured by. So let's say if you have the more brighter, the more resistance, the low light, the less resistance. So yeah. So here are the components. As you can see, this is the resistors actually. Obviously, and this is the capacitor. It has a value of 100 nanofarad. And here's the battery, and here's the connections. This is the 9 volt and the ground. As you can see, we have ground. So this big one, it is a I believe it is a 8 dip switch comparator. Yeah, So it is a 8 deep switch comparator. This is a buzzer. As you can see, this is a custom made. So in this program, some of the components are need to be custom made. So it needs to be custom made. So here is the potentiometer. So here is the photoresistor. This is also a custom made. So this consists of a resistor, of course, and we just put a circle on it. So we can it can differ to others. So this the custom mades are can be also used next in the next for the future use just by saving it into a custom made. uh, yeah, so here's the schematic, as you can see. Now we will go to the PCB part, and let's try to link this to PCB, and let's see what will happen. So here is the schematic and PCB of the burglar system. As you can see, it's the same parts. As you can see, this is the code names. So first is we have the photoresistor. This is also custom made. So whatever the custom made in schematics is, it is also custom made in PCB. Yeah, so we need to custom made some of the components if we want to make a more more interactive PCB or schematic or to our likings. So here is the BZ1 is the buzzer. So the Q1 is the transistor 2N1711. So this is it. This is Q1. Then C1, this is the capacitor. The R3, R1, R3, R4, R1, and R2 is the normal resistors with a 0.25 watts, I believe. So the R5 is, this is the potentiometer, and the U1 is the comparator 8 tip switch. So this is the full schematic. So let's see the links. What are the positives and negatives? So when I click this, as you can see, are the connections that are connected to each other. Oh, by the way, uh, why did this pop up? So I linked the schematic that we have done before this to this. So we just gonna link it and click here. Yeah, it has been linked. So it will automatically do this. So if we click this one, this is the negatives or the grounds. So as you can see, here is the connection. So we can try the other connections as it's this. So we can see their connections. It is so useful to do this, so we can check the connections whether they are connected or not. So it is really recommended to create a schematic first. So it no more like recommended, it is like the golden rule, or the first step of making a PCB is creating a schematic first, before jumping into here. uh, yeah, so that's all of it. No we can By the way, I will explain some of the how to like put this. So let's try one. So as you can see, we can put this the components in a PCB. So if you need something like semiconductor, yeah, semiconductor, which is this one, but we have different models, so depending on your liking. So here is the dip switch. We use dip switch because in the schematic class, it is a um, it is a comparator 8 dip switch, so that's the keyword. So yeah, we put this and click and put it. Oh, by the way, you need to put the correct ID according to the component, or else it will not detect in the link. Meaning you can, if you click this, it will not read that this is a R2 and is connected to here. So let me demonstrate that. So if I double click this, and let's say I put this to 10. Oh, wait. Okay. So as you can see, if when I click this, nothing happens. When I click this, he is no longer connected because it is not. It should be R2. It should be. It should be in R2. So when I click it back, so let's try this. Let's click again. As you can see there, it is updated now. So it is simple as that. So we can. It is simple as that. So thank you for my quick output, my quick overview of the PCB and SCH. Uh, I won't be so much in depth with this because there's a lot of configuration, but it is self-explanatory and you can explore yourself, which is good with this. So I just without using this system, like this sample burglar system, actually I've explored some stuff, and yes, it can be learned by yourself by just exploring. So if you have spare time, or if it is required, it is not so hard to use, because some of these have the it has just hover it in, it will say what is the component and what is this the wire, this the like the lettering, and here's some custom shapes. So yeah, so we have a rectangle if you want to put. Yeah, so thank you again for listening, and I am again Rendell as Suliva. See you. Thank you.